A dynamic kick sends someone into a night flight over the city. The victim is in agony and a sinister tattoo shines on his chest. A close-up of a demonic seal, the source of unknown power. A villain with burning eyes smirks at the defeated, hungry for more. Morning replaces night, but the tension only builds over the city. Police tape, curious gawkers, and mournful faces. Another crime scene. Detectives are on the scene, one of them pointing out a strange detail on the victim's arm. Chief Tsukishima Yu examines the body. Signs of suffocation, scratches, but the cause of death is unclear. The police assume it's the work of Kitagao, a fugitive on the hunt again. A fancy car speeds through the city, while Kita continues to taunt the police, leaving no evidence. A mysterious stranger strides confidently through the city, attracting stares. The cops are desperate. We have to catch him before it gets worse. Should we call him for help again? The confident detective grins. Don't worry, we've got someone reliable joining us. That same stranger, Natsuno Sumiri, introduces herself, clearly embarrassed by this attention. The detective introduces Sumire to the team, a top graduate sent from headquarters. Sumire rushes into action. The director is not happy. Kita must be caught before New Year's Eve, no matter what it takes. The detective stops her. Take your time. Did you bring what I asked for? Sumire holds out the folder doubtfully. In the folder are steaming meat buns. Why do you need these? Sumire is perplexed. To enhance our bloodhound's sense of smell, replies the detective cryptically, drawing Sumire along with him. The detective points theatrically forward. There's our counselor. The detective launches the smoking buns straight into the air. Out of nowhere, a stylish guy pops up and catches the treat masterfully. Meat, the hungry counselor's first reaction to the unexpected gift. The detective smilingly advises him to take his time, as there is enough food to go around. The boy confesses to Sumire that he hasn't eaten in 3 whole days. Sumire is completely perplexed. How are you still on your feet? The counselor philosophically remarks that he has a couple more days without food in store. The police officers look tense as they observe this strange scene. He's our counselor? Sumire is stunned, but the detective only smirks. That's Hellhound. Shizuhara Subaru, the counselor, stands nonchalantly and is already being asked, So, has Kita been found? Subaru, having finished his bun, emits steam. The Hellhound's sense of smell is heightened. A purple aura envelops the counselor, his gaze piercing the street, tracking Kita. Energy surges upwards. Hellhound is ready to hunt. His gut is leading the way. Sumire and the detective are in mild shock. What was that? The counselor's abilities are surprising. The detective commands Sumire, Start your car, let's go. She is perplexed. Why me? Subaru, nonchalantly finishing his meal, explains, Your car isn't conspicuous, he'll run right away in a police car. Sumire points out in a panic, Tsukishima-san, he's already in my car. The detective only chuckles at his insolence. Hellhound, having gotten comfortable in the auto, remarks, And you happen to be from the Natsuno family. Subaru gives Sumire clear instructions. We're going to an abandoned glass factory in the south, and fast. Sumire clutches the steering wheel, clearly unfazed by this passenger and his commanding tone. Sumire presses the pedal to the floor, and her car bullets through the city streets. Subaru, looking at Sumire, casually mentions Shizuharu Seiya, Hiro Tentoku. Sumire recalls the legend. Seiya, a police genius, died saving a rookie 10 years ago. The detective confirms Sumire's hunch. Yes, Subaru is his son. Sumire at the wheel can't understand. How did the son of such a hero make it to the life of a ragamuffin counselor? Suddenly, Subaru, looking ahead, commands sharply, Stop! Kitagu, with a monstrous arm, attacks their car, but Subaru is already flying towards them. Hellhound lightning fast pushes Sumire away, taking the blow for himself. Kita's impact shakes the asphalt, sending the Subaru flying and crushing the hood. Subaru lands, holding tightly to Sumire, who screams in horror, It's Kita! Sumire isn't lost. Gun at the ready as Kita is painted on the wrecked wheelbarrow. A hail of bullets from Sumire. She unloads a clip into the villain without hesitation. Kita, shrouded in a blue aura, smirks. I'll deal with you first, then I'll get to the last one. The villain lunges at Sumire, promising swift retribution, his eyes burning with unkind fire. Subaru, barely recovered, looks at the dangerous situation with frustration. Damn. Hellhound is at it again, blocking Kita's punch. Stay away from her. Kita's powerful punch lands on Subaru, but he holds his defense. Kita is shocked. No way! Subaru stopped his monstrous arm. Kita's face distorts with surprise and pain. He whispers, "Please stop." "Stop!" Kita yells as Subaru's grip tightens, manifesting a strange energy. Kita squirms, his monstrous arm trembling. Hunger seems to be driving him mad. The villain screams, blue energy surging out. He's clearly not himself. Sumir and Subaru are puzzled. The bullets won't take Kita. What the hell is going on with him? Sumir reports to the detective on the phone. Kita is under stimulants and in some kind of protection. While Sumir is battling the enemy, Subaru is nonchalantly chatting on the phone, incurring her wrath. The counselor calmly informs someone on the other end of the line, It's me. Will you be in soon?" Detective Tsukushima is already rushing to help, promising to be there in 10 minutes. Kita, shrouded in an ominous aura, utters, "I'll be fine, but that lady won't last long." Subaru mentions a dangerous new drug walking around the Tentoku underworld over the phone. Sumir and the detective are shocked. Has Kita fallen victim to the drug? Kita, blazing with blue energy, looms over Sumir, threatening to kill her. Subaru pushes Sumir away, saying that Kita is having a seizure and he will deal with him himself. The counselor, nonchalantly chatting on the phone, smirks as Kita squirms in agony. Subaru haggles over the phone. "Detention wasn't part of the deal, it'll cost more." Kita lunges at Subaru in a rage, screaming, "I'll kill you!" Hellhound deftly dodges, offering 20% of the capture reward over the phone. Subaru brazenly demands 80% because without him, Kita wouldn't have been found. As Kita freaks out, the counselor sighs into the phone. "Well, what can you do, I guess?" Kita attacks again with a shout of "Die," but Subaru easily dodges. Suddenly, a mysterious stranger in a cap and mask appears, blocking Kita's blow. Subaru is on the phone with a satisfied smirk. "Great timing. Consider it 50% mine." The mysterious Yu enters the fray, his hand enveloped in blue energy with a demonic pattern. Kita is startled. Yu warns with icy calmness, "Ready? This is going to be a little unpleasant." The stranger sends Kita flying with a lightning-fast leg kick. Kita flies back with a crushing blow. It looks like his strength is running out. Yu throws another precise and powerful strike, leaving Kita no chance. Kita squirms in pain, his blue aura weakening under the onslaught of his new opponent. A strange blue pattern appears on Kita's arm, the sign of a mysterious drug. Yu stands over the defeated Kita, looking nonchalantly into his phone. "Young people fall asleep so easily. I envy them." Subaru and Yu take a victorious selfie with the defeated Kita, smiling at the camera. Sumir is stunned, trying to comprehend the battle that just happened. Subaru smilingly returns Sumiri's phone as if nothing much happened. Sumir points a gun at Subaru in a rage, demanding an immediate explanation. "Who are you?" Subaru parries with a smirk. "Pointing a gun at a savior? Any questions for you? I have a contract." Sumir doesn't lower her weapon as the incoming police cars are seen in the background. With a snort, Sumir finally lowers the gun, deciding to take his advice. Sumir cuffs the defeated Kita while Subaru hands her the honorable right of arrest. Detective Tsukishima arrives and commands the officers to take Kita into custody immediately. Tsukishima thanks Subaru for her work and promises to pay the reward immediately. Subaru carelessly reminds the detective of his earlier words about the mysterious stimulant. Detective Tsukishima clarifies, "Faust, is this the same drug that Kita took?" As Kita is led away, the detective grimly states that the symptoms are obvious and there will be a lot of work to do. Subaru sighs tiredly. Holy crap. While Yu stands by her side nonchalantly. Sumir reports to Tsukishima about the found crime weapon, drawing Yu's attention. Yu looks at his palm enigmatically, adjusting his stylish glasses. Yu's hand reveals the same ominous blue pattern. What does it mean? The scene changes, with Kita sitting in interrogation across from Tsukishima and a furious Sumire. Kita, reclined in his chair, seems to be sleeping serenely, ignoring the interrogators. Sumir pummels the table in fury, demanding the truth. "This is your last chance, answer honestly." Kita tosses back with an icy smirk. "I killed them, that's all." Kita defiantly states that Sumir is his type, but the detective urges her to remain calm. Tsukishima cuts to the chase, asking Kita where he got the Faust. The detective, with a sly smile, offers Kita a deal, information on the suppliers in exchange for a reward. Kita grins, stating that he was prepared for the worst and isn't going to blab. Tsukishima sarcastically notes the criminal's impressive determination. Kita makes Sumir an obscene offer in exchange for testimony, crossing all boundaries. The detective explodes, hitting the table and demanding that Kita know his place. The criminal only snickers in response, provoking the investigators even more. Tsukishima, not losing his composure, orders Sumire to bring Subaru in. Sumire hesitates, suspecting that Subaru may be connected to the enemy. Tsukishima convinces Sumire that Subaru is their only chance to get Kita to talk. Subaru spectacularly shows up at the station with Sumire, wondering if Yu has summoned him. The mercenary smirkingly states that his services will be free this time, leaving Sumire puzzled. Subaru nonchalantly greets Kita and Tsukishima in the interrogation room. "Yo, meeting again." Kita stares in shock at Subaru walking in, clearly not expecting to see him here. The detective complains to Subaru that Kita is stubborn and not afraid of death, saying he's giving up. Subaru hints with a sly smile that there are always grandfather's methods of influence. Not thinking long, Subaru applies a very convincing argument to Kita right in the head. Sumire exclaims in horror, wondering if it's normal for the police to use such interrogation techniques. Subaru, holding a stunned Kita, parries that he's not a cop and this is a private civilian squabble. Subaru, holding Kidu carelessly, winks at Tsukishima. "Good idea. Will you take her away for a minute?" Tsukishima resolutely leads Sumire away while Kita desperately cries out her complete ignorance. Subaru and the detective exchange sly glances. The show is just beginning for Kita. The detective takes Sumire away to check the protocols, leaving Subaru 3 minutes for an exclusive interview. Left with Kita, Subaru announces with an anticipatory smirk, "3 priceless minutes. Let's go." Kita tries to object in a panic. "Even if you say, 'let's go,' I really don't." But he is no longer being listened to. In a bright purple flash, Subaru moves on to a more persuasive arguments. Subaru's hand blazes with purple light and he states icily, "Yeah, I'm not talking to you." Without further ado, the mercenary applies his trademark method of persuasion to Kita. Kita squirms, feeling the full force of the personal strife, his hubris instantly gone. Kita growls in rage that he will finish Subaru off, and an ominous blue pattern appears on his arm. Subaru cuts off Kita's threats with one precise motion, demanding silence. Kita's eyes glaze over, he can't believe what's happening, and Subaru nonchalantly asks, "What is it?" The criminal swallows in horror, realizing who he's messed with. His bravado evaporated. Subaru hints that his abilities will make Kita experience something worse than death. A broken Kita, drenched in sweat, is finally ready to spill everything he knows. Subaru pats the shoulder of the surrendered Kita, who mumbles the name Yu with a satisfied smile. Detective Tsukishima and Sumire return, and the detective notes Subaru's speed. The mercenary grinningly suggests that Kita start talking while the investigators watch. Sumire and Tsukishima earnestly begin recording their statements, and the atmosphere heats up. Kita begins to inject himself, mentioning the supplier Anno and a certain drug. Suddenly, Kita's body distorts, the blue pattern on his arm flaming, shocking Sumire and Subaru. The demonic blue on Kita's arm flares brighter and brighter, foreshadowing imminent trouble. Kita wheezes an apology for his failure, his eyes rolling. It looks like this is the end for him. The criminal falls dead on the table, and Subaru states with icy calmness, "This is war." A sharp change of frame. The city glows with the lights of the Christmas fair, carefree merriment reigns. An ominous hooded figure flashes through the festive crowd, a familiar blue pattern on his arm. The hooded figure stops and his face lights up with an anticipatory smirk. "It's about time." The stranger releases a powerful stream of blue energy, covering the unsuspecting people. The eyes of passers-by light up with an eerie blue light. The city is plunged into a new nightmare. An ominous blue spirit calls for silence. A mystery envelops the city. A week later, Sumire strides determinedly through the snowy town, clearly up to something. Sumire mumbles unhappily as to why she was the one assigned to deliver the bounty. The girl hurries down the street, shivering from the winter cold and grumbling to herself. She approaches an office of some sort, clearly on her way to a meeting. As she walks up the stairs, Sumire wonders if Subaru had something to do with Kita's death. Sumire anxiously asks Tsukishima what their next steps are in this confusing situation. Flashback to Kita. His eyes burn with an unearthly light, hinting at a supernatural cause of death. Subaru waves Tsukishima away. His mission is accomplished, and let others deal with the poison. The mercenary tosses 2 pieces of advice over his shoulder. Dig for Anno and prepare for war, reminding him that he is only a consultant. Sumir blocks Subaru's path, demanding an explanation and preventing him from leaving. The mercenary in dark glasses nonchalantly wonders what else there is to talk about. The girl bluntly accuses Subaru of having a strange connection with Kita and eliminating him. With a smirk, Subaru advises her not to jump to conclusions without solid evidence. He waves her goodbye, offering to find him with the evidence and wishing her a Merry Christmas. Sumire, left alone, worries whether Tsukishima was wrong to trust this type. The girl approaches the office door, from which comes an invitation to enter. Sumire timidly opens the door, apologizing for the intrusion. She enters the room, which is a mess, papers and bottles scattered everywhere. Sumire finds Subaru sloppily collapsed under a sheet, complaining about the stuffiness. Sumire catches a glimpse of Subaru, who is surprised by her early visit while she reprimands him for being late. The mercenary, surrounded by bottles, nonchalantly states that his work schedule is his own business. Subaru defiantly takes a sip from the bottle, ignoring the girl's indignation. Sumire is shocked. The police consultant has been drinking since morning, undermining the credibility of the authorities. He continues to drink, clearly enjoying her reaction and the morning drink. Subaru parries with a smirk that it could be medicine and demands proof to the contrary. The girl is dumbfounded by his insolence, not knowing whether to believe his next tale. The mercenary only smiles enigmatically, clearly enjoying her confusion. Sumire is furious, accusing him of lying, promising to expose him to Tsukishima one day. The girl's patience bursts and she moves to more drastic action, attacking Subaru. Subaru easily catches Sumire's leg, foiling her attack with a smug smirk. The mercenary topples the girl in one motion, demonstrating his superiority in close combat. Subaru leans over to the blushing Sumire, paying an ambiguous compliment to her scent. Sumire, embarrassed and angry, pushes his face away, demanding that he let her go immediately. Suddenly, Subaru is already holding a weighty wad of money, and Sumire stares at it dumbfounded. The mercenary cynically states that he smelled the money, otherwise he wouldn't have let her in. Sumire calls him a cheapskate while he enjoys counting the bills. Subaru cuts her off abruptly, becoming serious when their conversation is interrupted. A new visitor appears at the door, a pretty girl looking for a certain Shizuharu-san. Subaru, already wearing dark glasses, sits down on the couch, while Sumire watches the new visitor with interest. Like a magician, Subaru changes his image. He's now Shizuhara, a universal detective ready for any mystery. Sumire's jaw drops. She didn't expect such acting from this rascal. Shizuhara offers the new guest a seat with impeccable politeness, radiating professionalism. But Sumire, he bluntly points to the door. Say, do not interfere with the work, dearie. But our officer is not easy. Says that she will stay to watch no matter what he has in mind. The stranger begins her sad story. Her brother disappeared 3 months ago, and this is her last hope. Subaru, under Sumire's gaze, lazily wonders why this isn't a police matter. The girl excuses herself by leaving and mentions a mysterious letter from her brother with a flash drive inside. She came to him on a recommendation, since rumors of Shizuhara-san's talents are ahead of his own. With a sly smirk, Subaru asks for the name of the missing person, and Sumire's attention is on the case. The girl introduces herself as Ano Nana, and her missing brother is Shingo. Subaru and Sumire exclaim Ano in unison, clearly recognizing the last name. Nana asks hopefully if they know her brother. Subaru, without blinking an eye, denies it, saying he thought he saw a similar client. The mercenary whispers in Sumire's ear that she, so young, has no memory. Sumire plays along, agreeing with a strained smile that she must have been mistaken. Ano Nana asks with a last hope if he'll take her case. Detective Shizuhara regretfully informs her that he can't take the job. The girl is desperate. After all, rumor has it that he'll take on anything, even finding pets. Subaru, under Sumire's cover, declares, Ano Shingo is involved in a police case, so I apologize. Ano Nana makes a move, offering 2 million yen, flashing his credit card. Subaru, without wasting a second, snatches up the card. The deal is accepted. Sumire just rolls her eyes. Detective Shizuhara smiles charmingly and assures him that his brother will be found. The deal is sealed with a handshake. Ano Nana and Shizuhara are officially search partners. Sumire, snorting, defiantly heads for the exit. She doesn't like this circus. But Subaru is not slumbering. With a sharp movement, he grabs her arm, not allowing her to leave. The mercenary deftly turns Sumire to himself, as if inviting her to an unexpected dance. Sumire is indignant, and Subaru whispers in her ear that she'll have to find Ano anyway, so why not make some money? Subaru hugs Sumir, apologizing to Nana for the family spat, and immediately asks about the flash drive. Nana confirms the USB, and Subaru suddenly catches a familiar scent. It's definitely Anno. Subaru ponders the flash drive. Has its protective effect worn off, all for the sake of his sister? Suddenly, the mercenary is pierced by an unknown force emanating from the mysterious medium. Subaru falls senseless to the floor, struck down by the mysterious effect of the flash drive. His eyes behind his dark glasses are wide open. He seems to be seeing something beyond the limit. Before his mind's eye, he sees an eerie picture, the cold tables of a morgue. On one of the tables, a figure with glowing eyes and strange patterns on its body comes to life. Is it really Anno Shingo? The experiment, you succeeded? Asks the resurrected man, looking around. The figure, now wrapped in a cloak, comes to, realizing his new state. Through the rows of gurneys, he walks away, whispering his sister's name, Nana. Sumir and Nana lean over Subaru in bewilderment, and the girl officer asks worriedly what's wrong. Subaru comes to his senses, fixing his glasses. Nothing, just a little choked up. The mercenary, already collected, declares to Nana, I know where Kanogoro is, he's in Tentoku. Both girls are shocked. Sumir and Nana can't believe their ears. Nana, revitalized, is eager to go to Tentoku to see her brother. Subaru, calmly adjusting his glasses, confirms, Yes, let's go. As Nana hurries toward the exit, Sumire anxiously clarifies Subaru's well-being. Sly hands Sumir a flash drive. Give it to you. Anno might have left data on Faust. The door slams shut. The detective agency empties for a moment. The trio is already on a busy street, and Nana asks doubtfully if her brother is here. Subaru replies confidently, I can smell him, it's the same, intriguing Sumir. Subaru squints and catches an ominous scent in the air, the smell of blood. Nana panics, asking where her brother is, and Subaru is puzzled. The smell is coming from everywhere. The mercenary hums. It looks like his brother left his sister a very unpleasant surprise. Not only does the smell not disappear, but it intensifies, confusing even Subaru. Sumir calls Tsukishima. Tung, her co-worker, needs help and is curious about Subaru. Tung clarifies over the phone whether Sumir has been investigating Anno since that day. The detective on the other end of the line bluntly asks if she knows Anno's whereabouts. Subaru answers the phone with an enigmatic smirk. Who knows? Tung is shocked by the news. Anno Shingo showed up at the police morgue a week ago. Apparently someone had caused a commotion with a smoke bomb in Kinyo Square, but it quickly subsided. Tung reports by phone that a body was found in the square after the incident, and it was Anno Shingo. Sumir is shocked and asks about the smoke bomb and the body found, while the trio stands in the crowd. Detective Tung is certain. It's not a coincidence, but a conspiracy, though the motives aren't clear yet. Subaru grinningly asks the cop if he thought the smoke bomb could have been Faust's work, and immediately an ominous image appears in his mind's eye. Tung on the other end of the line is clearly taken aback by Subaru's guess. Suddenly, the people in the crowd around them start acting strangely, repeating the name Nana, and Tung demands reinforcements to Todo Square. Nana is horrified and doesn't understand why everyone around her is repeating her name, and Subaru laments that earning money isn't easy. The crowd turns into aggressive creatures, and Nana panics, asking Shizuharu what they should do. Subaru analyzes the situation. The smell is different from Kita's case. Either the infestation is weaker or it's Anno's own shenanigans. Subaru coldly observes, the crowd isn't just strange, they've all turned into Kita's likeness. Sumir panics. Is the stimulant the same as Kita's, and how can they be unarmed? The mercenary explains, these people have lost their minds, their purpose is clear, and that guy over there will tell everything. A man in a suit emerges from the crowd, stating that Nana stole something from them and will go with them. Subaru commands Sumir, grab Anno Nana and run, explanations later. Detective Shizuhara gets in the way of the pursuers. He won't give up his client. The main villain smirks, so we'll have to take her by force. Nana screams her brother's name in terror, surrounded by aggressive figures. The ringleader's glasses glint ominously as he looks ready to give the order to attack. Subaru enters the fray, scattering the opponents and covering the girl's retreat. Nana is terrified. One of the possessed has almost grabbed her, making an eerie sound. The ringleader is furious, yelling at his subordinate, Idiot, we need her alive! As Subaru shoves the attacker away. Subaru leaps over the downed enemy like a shadow, covering Nana. The mercenary scatters his opponents in a whirlwind of combat, providing the girls with an escape route. The arm of one of the attackers drags on the ground. Subaru isn't kidding. The leader of the possessed, covering his face with his hand, recognizes Subaru as the one who dealt with Kita. Subaru nonchalantly parries that Kita was finished off by the villain's patrons and wonders who's pulling the strings. The mercenary dismisses his enemy's motives with disdain. Lust, pride, who cares, you're all brats. Subaru's fist flashes with sinister energy. He's ready for a serious fight. Come on. The villain removes his glasses, his eyes burning blue flames. Ha ha ha, interesting. I changed my mind. Glavgad, grinning, promises Subaru an unforgettable dinner, starring him. The villain with the blue aura rushes to attack. Subaru meets him with a punch with a red trace. Subaru flies back from the powerful blow, yelling to the girls, "Run now!" Samira hesitates, but Nana resolutely drags her away, assuring her that Shizuhara is a pro. The villain rams Subaru into the asphalt, surrounded by sinister purple energy. The transformed villain with claws smells something special in Subaru, drawn to the mercenary's soul. Subaru, without losing his composure, wonders how his opponent got to this life. The villain philosophizes about the futility of being a simple man to whom no one will help. The antagonist's face is distorted by a grimace of envy. Why do others live freely while he suffers? A gloomy flashback hints at the villain's past, a man in a suit and a humiliated figure. In the flashback, a pathetic man in rags sits on the ground in front of someone in an expensive suit. Despair pushes him to a reckless attack. He throws himself at his abuser. Suddenly the situation changes. Now he is on top and the man in the suit is defeated. The dark figure offers him a deal, asking if he's hungry as he sits over the body. The tempter holds out something to him, promising the best flavor in the world if he eats it. Without thinking long, he accepts the gift, and the violet energy begins to consume him. The transformation is irreversible. Having tasted the forbidden, he will never be the same again. Back in the present, the blue-skinned villain offers Subaru a taste of the same fate. Subaru asks with cold fury if he has consumed the soul of an innocent, to which he replies in the affirmative. The mercenary gives his verdict, "I see, then I will finish you off without hesitation." Subaru, shrouded in an ominous purple aura, warns, "It's been a long time since he's had such a good time, so no offense." His glasses glint ominously, and the mercenary adjusts them as he prepares for something big. Subaru challenges his opponent, "Here I come," and raises his arm to strike. Behind Subaru's back, a colossal shadow of a demon with Asmodee written on it appears as he walks towards the enemy. The blue-skinned fiend babbles in horror. "It can't be! The first demon!" The opponents are frozen against each other, Subaru exuding power as purple energy swirls around him. Subaru's eyes behind his glasses flash purple fire. He's clearly not in the mood for jokes. The mercenary reaches forward, concentrating his energy for a crushing attack. Subaru delivers a lightning-fast strike, and a purple vortex rains down on the stunned villain. The antagonist's face contorts in pain as he looks like he didn't like the blow. Subaru coldly snaps at his opponent, "Don't you dare call me that filthy name!" The villain cries out in despair at his powers as Subaru draws them out, announcing, "They're mine now!" The mercenary mercilessly absorbs the minion's energy, every last drop of it. The possessed men scatter in panic, their faces contorted in horror at Subaru's power. Subaru, like a black hole, sucks the life force from the crowd of fleeing enemies. The minions fall to the ground, struck down by an invisible force, while Subaru stands calmly among the defeated. The last of the enemies fall to the ground as Subaru absorbs their energy. Suddenly, a huge blue spirit appears in front of Subaru, asking, "Asmodeus, did you sell your soul to a human?" The spirit, introducing himself as Kuro, a noble demon, threatens retribution from the Demon King to all those who have sold their souls. Subaru adjusts his glasses with a chuckle. Noble? An inferior demon who thinks of himself. What can an old man who rested thousands of years ago do? Subaru, engulfed in purple flames, declares, "I am a human. Don't confuse me with foul demons like you." The blue spirit's face contorts in a furious grimace. The mercenary's words clearly hurt him. Kuro growls that Subaru is just a pathetic contractor borrowing the great demon's power. The mercenary calmly objects, "Not exactly like that, but it doesn't matter. You soul eaters are the enemies of humans." The demon chuckles mockingly, claiming that Subaru's body has already been poisoned by the ether, and he doesn't have long to live. Subaru confirms with an icy grin, "Yes, I have terminal cancer, so what?" He glares determinedly at his enemy. But until the day I die, I will hunt the likes of you. Subaru snaps out of his seat, rushing into a suicidal attack on the giant spirit. His fist, shrouded in purple energy, crashes straight into the blue demon's mouth. Kuro, opening its toothy maw, roars, "Be a good boy and let me eat you!" Subaru rushes at the huge demon without flinching, ready for a decisive fight. A powerful punch of purple energy crashes straight into the blue giant's jaw. Kuro's face contorts in surprise as the impact of the human's blow is felt. The mercenary delivers another devastating uppercut, causing the demon to stagger backwards. Kuro laughs mockingly, saying that even with the power of the demon of the source, Subaru has not known true terror. Subaru glances down at his bloody hand, the blow not without a trace. The demon looms over him, promising that the ether will distort his flesh and blood, making him food. The mercenary coldly notices that the source demon is behind Kuro as well, his hand enveloped in blue flame. Kuro blusters that as long as his source demon exists, Subaru doesn't stand a chance, but soon he will be nothing but food for his ascendancy. The blue demon spews out a powerful stream of icy energy, attempting to wipe Subaru out. Subaru deftly dodges the icy attack, his cloak fluttering with the power of the blow. The mercenary tisks with slight irritation, his bony hand touching the ground, ready to counterattack. Subaru's eyes flash with determination behind his glasses. This demon clearly underestimates him. Kuro swoops down, demanding that Subaru surrender and become his food, but the mercenary is not one to be intimidated. A torrent of ice crashes to the ground, raising shards of asphalt, but Subaru is no longer there. The mercenary, ducking down, watches the demon, his violet eyes assessing the situation. Subaru grins crookedly, muttering that this mess is getting too troublesome. Suddenly, his gaze falls on a man in a suit lying nearby, clearly injured. Without thinking, Subaru rushes towards the stranger, enveloping him in purple energy. The demon mockingly asks if Subaru has time to save others when he himself is in danger. Subaru supports the wounded man, but the demon mockingly states, "It's too late, he can't be helped now." The mercenary gently lowers the injured man to the ground, his face clouded with determination. Standing to his full height, Subaru, shrouded in a purple vortex, promises the demon a hard reprisal. Kuro's blue spirit laughs gloatingly, anticipating an easy victory. The demon scoffs, saying that Subaru is pathetic and will soon be a fraction of his strength, while the mercenary clutches his bony hand. Subaru grins as he adjusts his glasses. "What a disgusting ability. You don't have any friends, do you?" Kuro growls back that Subaru is too talkative and should think about his last words. The demon in a rage unleashes a powerful stream of blue energy at the mercenary, shouting, "Die!" Subaru, engulfed in tearing purple flames, stoically meets the attack, his clothes cracking at the seams. In response, a colossal pillar of purple energy erupts from the ground, rushing straight into the sky. Subaru's purple pillar of energy pierces through Kuro's attack, the demon stunned by such power. Kuro babbles in horror, recognizing the legendary Lord Asmodeus in this power. The majestic figure of Asmodeus emerges from the purple flames, looking mockingly at Kuro. A fist woven from pure demonic energy is ready to unleash its wrath. Asmodeus unleashes a barrage of crushing energy at Kuro, Subaru calmly observes. The demoness weaves deadly patterns of energy, her mask concealing her true intentions. Subaru states the sad fact that the soul of the man he saved has already been consumed. Asmodeus grinningly reminds Subaru of the price of their contract, hinting at his own fate. The demoness says goodbye, leaving Subaru to deal with the consequences. Subaru is left alone in the midst of defeated enemies, surrounded by remnants of purple energy. Around Subaru, people are regaining consciousness, not realizing what happened and complaining of pain. The mercenary is coughing up blood. It seems that the reckoning for Asmodeus's power has caught up with him sooner than he expected. Subaru chuckles bitterly, looking at the phone. "I didn't think I'd have to pay so soon." The phone slips out of the mercenary's weakened hand, flying to the pavement. Subaru falls to the ground without strength, his body no longer obeying. The screen of the falling phone shows a message for Wendy, asking her to come to Xinyu Square urgently. Meanwhile, someone's hand, shrouded in blue energy, abruptly swings the door open. Two girls, one of whom is Wendy, burst into the room, surrounded by streams of energy. Wendy is shocked, and her companion anxiously asks if her brother is safe. They discover empty bunks. It seems all the bodies from the morgue have mysteriously disappeared. Wendy is horrified as she looks around the empty morgue. A dozen bodies have disappeared without a trace in one day. Her companion wonders with concern in her voice if her brother has disappeared too. Wendy tries to reassure her, suggesting that it's the work of her superiors because bodies don't just disappear. The girl looks bitterly at the empty gurney, realizing that there is little hope. Deciding to leave this creepy place for now, Wendy takes her companion's hand. The two girls hurriedly walk down the hospital corridor, the atmosphere heating up. Suddenly, a frightened guard runs up to them, shouting, "Natsuno, trouble, run!" Natsuno turns around and the guard, panting, blurts out, "The dead people, they're chasing us!" Horror distorts the man's face as blue clawed paws reach for him out of the darkness. The creepy blue monster grabs the guard, confirming his worst fears. Natsuno seals a powerful leg kick right into the toothy maw on the monster's chest with a U-turn. The girl covers the stunned guard, wondering what kind of madness is going on here. The stricken monster is writhing on the floor, its other maw open in a silent scream. The nightmare is real. The corridor is filled with more and more dead people with ominously glowing eyes. Natsuno decisively takes the baton from the guard. "I think I could use this." Armed, she asks Nana if she can see her brother amongst all this animated evil. Nana shakes her head negatively, and Natsuno concludes with cold determination, "Then it's all right." The two dead men lunge at the girls with wild yells, clearly not for a friendly hug. Natsuno coolly meets the threat, sending the first insolent one to the floor with a swift blow of her baton. Wrapped in a battle aura, Natsuno prepares to fight back the rest of the nightmares without flinching. Natsuno meets the new wave of the reanimated dead without flinching, ready to fight. With a deft move, she disarms another opponent, her baton whistling through the air. The guard is delighted. Natsuno, a two-time champion of the police academy, is really strong. The girl checks one of the defeated. There is no pulse. They are definitely the same missing bodies. A question flashes through Natsuno's mind. Is raising the dead really possible? As she touches the dead man's shoulder, she feels the ominous energy emanating from him. Suddenly, pillars of blue flame erupt from the defeated bodies, surprising Natsuno. The energy thickens, taking on an increasingly tangible and threatening form. One of the dead men launches a blue energy ball. Natsuno screams danger. The sphere crashes into another reanimated one, causing a bright flash of blue light. The stricken dead flies back. The other is already sprawled out on the floor. Friendly fire in action. One of the reanimated corpses, engulfed in blue flames, growls angrily, clearly not going to give up. Natsuno, unable to believe his eyes, lunges at the next monster. "You've got to be kidding me." The creature swings a glowing energy claw, intending to shred everything in its path. The monster swiftly attacks. Natsuno prepares to meet the blow face to face. "Get back!" shouts Natsuno, pushing someone away from the deadly attack of the reanimated dead man. With a vicious grin and sharp fangs, these things are clearly in no mood for peace talks. Meanwhile, in a hospital room, a young man with an oxygen mask on his face regains consciousness. The guy removes the mask and drinks water, addressing someone, "You've been through a lot." The nurse looks at the patient reproachfully, reminding him of his unpaid bills and frequent visits. A patient stretches out languidly on a bunk. "I'm hurt, let me rest." The nurse looks at him reproachfully. "Still the same. Why didn't you come to my wedding?" The guy waves it off. "I didn't have time, that's my job, you know." The nurse throws a folder in his face. "Right, get some rest." He looks at the diagnosis. "Is it that bad?" She replies, "To a normal person, I'd advise you to enjoy the rest of your days, but you..." The nurse's eyes flash. "You have to fight the Magians while the cancer eats away at your body. You're running out of time." The boy is thoughtful. "Not only Magians, but lower demons, and so that's what these cancer cells are." The nurse is puzzled. "Inferior demons? But we sealed the first devil, why..." He calmly informs. "I didn't, but there are 7 original devils in total." The nurse is furious. "7? Why didn't you say anything? It's a good thing I wasn't around or I would have exploded with anger." The nurse curiously clarifies whether Natsuno is his assistant or his ex, to which he replies, "Both." She shows him the data on patients admitted in a state of extreme agitation, as if from demonic particles. Guy guesses contact with Faust almost turned them into Magians, and inquires about their current whereabouts. The nurse grimly informs him that they all disappeared without a trace a week ago. "Disappeared?" he echoes, clearly disturbed by this news. Despite the pain, he tries to rise abruptly from his bunk, clearly about to act. A nurse immediately picks him up, cautioning him against trying too hard in his condition. He assures her he's fine, but she doubts he should be looking for the missing in this state. Carefully but insistently, she sits him back down in his hospital bed. She asks reproachfully why he's always throwing himself into the blaze without thinking of himself. The guy asks the nurse cryptically if she remembers their last night shift together. The nurse, shrouded in a strange glow, replies that of course she remembers. Suddenly, a powerful creature appears, and a guy and a girl in uniform appear in front of it. The nurse looks frightened and tense, as if struggling with something inside her. The guy, with a determined expression on his face, prepares for action, his hand glowing with energy. A sinister sword materializes in his hand, shrouded in a purple glow. The nurse screams in horror at him to stop using the demonic energy. The guy, ignoring her, thrusts the sword into the ground with force. The guy's face is distorted, eyes glowing purple. He is clearly using forbidden power. The monster in front of him roars, preparing to fight. The guy unleashes a barrage of purple energy with his demonic blade at the blue giant. A horned demoness emerges from the clouds of dark magic, impressed by the sight. She whispers with a predatory smile, "Truly magnificent." The hero is weakening, his sword still blazing, but Wendy is already rushing to his aid through the chaos. The payback for his strength doesn't take long. The guy chokes on blood. Wendy scoops up Subaru in horror, seeing him ooze dark energy. She screams as the demonic particles devour him from the inside out. "Asmodeus will devour you!" Subaru, overcoming the pain, gently takes her hand. "It's my choice. Let's go home." Her gaze is full of despair. She can't accept his sacrificial decision. He explains with a bitter smile, "I have no future, so let the others have one." Wendy asks with a sad smile if he has ever thought about their shared future. Subaru, full of determination, replies that he regrets it, but he has to do it. In tears, she whispers that she understands everything but can't do it anymore, apologizing over and over again. He hugs her goodbye, thanking her while chaos rages all around. Back in the ward, Subaru philosophically asks the nurse if it makes sense to fight for someone else's future. He declares that he doesn't have long to live and wants to meet a dignified end, placing his hands on her shoulders. The nurse clarifies with concern in her voice how much time he is allotted. Putting on his scarf, he casually suggests, "Who knows, 6 months, or maybe a year." Suddenly, a powerful purple aura envelops him. The nurse backs away in shock. A huge demonic entity appears behind his back, questioning his current desire. Subaru declares that he has memorized their scent and will find the hospital in this town where they are hiding. The demonic entity warns of the high price for such a wish, but the guy is adamant, "Do it." Violet energy envelops Subaru, marking the beginning of a dangerous transaction. The devil's eye flashes as the seal of the contract is sealed. The scene changes abruptly. A mysterious figure emerges from a glowing portal in the city. A hooded stranger, engulfed in blue flames, appears out of nowhere. The hooded figure asks why it has been summoned, addressing Subaru. The summoned spirit states Subaru's awakening as if it was a foregone conclusion. Suddenly, another monster attacks, screaming that it senses a woman looking for him. The hooded figure angrily reminds him of Kuro's failure and the unacceptability of new mistakes in his plan. The monster in agony demands fresh prey, its hunger unquenchable. The hooded figure smirks. He has everything he needs for such an occasion. He offers the monster a buffet of defeated humans with a broad gesture. The creature licks its lips, anticipating the feast. Flesh and blood is close at hand. The hood warns the monster not to touch one cop. He has special plans for her. Next to the defeated officer lies a phone. On the screen is a call from Natsuno. Meanwhile, the usual daytime bustle reigns in the police station. A determined detective gathers the first investigation department on alert. When asked by his colleagues where the rush is going, he quips, "Kinyo Square, now!" Police cars with sirens blast off, rushing to the call. In the car, the chief ponders. Ano Shingo has declared war, clearly waiting for the right moment. The chief grimly weighs the odds. War now is an impossible burden for their weakened forces. An aide holds out a phone to the chief. "Urgent broadcast, sir." On the phone's screen, a live streamer shows a giant shadow in the Plaza del Kino, promising to sort it out for likes. The chief explodes. "Block the broadcast immediately, no panic, race to the plaza." Piazza Quino greets them with a swirl of blue energy and bodies strewn across the pavement. The chief, arriving on the scene, surveys the chaos and demands to find the Subaru. The deputy reports, "This one's unconscious, no Shizuhara in the vicinity." The chief is puzzled. That's odd. But Subaru was... His thought is cut short. The square is empty. The deputy wonders how everyone was evacuated so quickly. The police chief, looking at Subaru, demands an explanation. Then why? Suddenly, an ominous shadow appears behind the cops' backs, questioning, "Did you set this up?" Dark tentacles surround the chief and his men, and the situation escalates. Subaru regains consciousness in the hospital, remnants of demonic energy still hovering around. A nurse runs up to the weakened Subaru, concerned about his condition. He rises, saying cryptically, "It's just as that woman says." Subaru finds himself in another dimension, in front of the throne of a powerful demoness. The demoness greets him with a smile. "It's been a while. I've missed you." Subaru, not losing his composure, asks about the purpose of her visit. She wonders how long he has left, but he coldly snaps, "That's none of your business." The demoness smiles slyly, for she needs a new host. She reminds Subaru that her death is disadvantageous to him. Subaru parries with a chuckle. Their contract binds them until the very end. The demoness's eyes flash at this insolence. She clearly wasn't expecting it. In fury, she grabs him, demanding an answer. What does he want after all these years? Subaru, smiling nonchalantly, begins to reveal his true desire. "Greedy," he tosses her with a slight chuckle, completing the thought. Suddenly, Subaru is back in the room, the nurse concerned at his absent look. The nurse persistently inquires if he's been able to find the missing people. Subaru confirms, mentioning the disgusting odor, but is perplexed about Yu's motives for kidnapping him. The nurse is shocked. Yu was kidnapped too. Subaru assumes they were captured because of him and asks the nurse not to interfere. She nods understandingly but warns, "The next help will be for a fee." Subaru grinningly agrees. When the time comes, he'll gladly use her services. The nurse stops him, remembering an important gift. Turns out she not only fixed his old gear but added a couple new chips. She holds out the familiar chest to him, and Subaru is surprised. He thought it had been discarded long ago. With a warm smile, the nurse invites him to try out his new gear. Subaru pulls out his weapon, enveloped in violet energy. "It's been a while." The blade in his hands comes to life, ready for new battles. Subaru, clad in a stylish cloak, shows off his upgraded weapon awash with violet energy. The nurse asks with a sly smile if he will keep the blade's former name, Nightmare. Subaru replies with a chuckle that the weapon needs a better name, as he hasn't felt such power in a long time. He thanks Wendy and resolutely heads for the exit, ready for action. Turning around to say goodbye, Subaru tosses a short "see you later" at the cityscape in the background. Without wasting a second, he jumps out of the skyscraper's window as if it were a casual stroll. In a spectacular leap, Subaru rushes downward, pointing at an invisible target. From the balcony, Wendy watches his swift flight over the city. With a slight concern in her voice, she wishes him to be more careful in the coming mess. The nurse's face turns serious, and mysterious energy discharges flash behind her back. Wendy remains in the room, her gaze fixed on the table with the mysterious object. A telephone vibrates in the antique chest. It seems the nurse is not as simple as she seems. Over the phone, Wendy reports to someone, "I met with him and handed over the object." With a serious look, she adds, "He doesn't have long to live. About 6 months, I'd say." Surrounded by an ominous aura, Wendy smirks. "With this, he won't be able to interfere with our plan anymore." Meanwhile, Subaru is already on the case, chasing someone in a dizzying leap between skyscrapers. Wearing stylish goggles and a mask, he dives down, surrounded by the purple glow of his weapon. Subaru deftly maneuvers through the air, his cape fluttering and his arm reaching for an invisible target. Each of his acrobatic moves is a work of art, full of speed and deadly grace. Finally, he lands on the roof, ready for a decisive fight under the cover of night. Subaru, grinning through his stylish goggles, turns to his blade. "With you, partner, I am like 100 warriors." Looking around the night city, he philosophically observes that the world is full of problems, and a lull is a bad sign. Violet energy envelops his weapon as Subaru promises to send all the villains to one side. Against the backdrop of the full moon, he stands on the rooftop, ready for battle, his blade shining menacingly. Subaru casts a glance over his shoulder, pondering if he has enough time allotted. Without hesitation, he leaps off the roof again, rushing down at an incredible speed. Landing heroically on the asphalt, Subaru is ready to face any threat head-on. A sharp squeal of brakes breaks the silence of the night. Someone obviously did not expect his appearance. A car stops in front of Subaru, and he notes with slight surprise, "That's a bit far." An angry driver in dark glasses sticks out of the car, shouting, "Bastards! Have you had enough of life?" The driver of the sports car yells angrily at Subaru, demanding that he get out of the way. Subaru, calmly leaning on the hood, introduces himself as a cop and asks to borrow the car. A major in glasses boasts of his wealth, claiming that one tire is worth more than Subaru's annual salary. Subaru mumbles sourly that Yu's method didn't work, so he'll have to do it his own way. With a sinister smile and a dark aura, Subaru apologizes to the Apex driver in advance. Now Subaru is driving, and the former owner, clearly not thrilled, sits next to him. Subaru asks him not to cry. The frightened major, coming to his senses, wonders if he'll get a certificate for this. Subaru, with a sly grin, promises to try to apply for an award for him. Subaru Chibi-style remembers Yu saying something similar. Subaru asks with a smile if the rank of Superintendent General would suit the driver, shocking him. The major is thrilled at the prospect of an award, and Subaru reminds him to keep his eyes on the road. The passenger is ecstatic, anticipating his father's respect as Subaru nonchalantly drives. The sports car rushes down the night highway, and an ominous silhouette appears in the sky. Subaru is focused on the target, hoping that the worst-case scenario hasn't happened yet. Suddenly, something huge lands in front of the car with a rumble, kicking up dust. The major hits the brakes in a panic, barely having time to react. The car skids, but it stops at the last moment before the unexpected obstacle. The dazed driver gets out of the car, wondering if it's a meteor. A giant figure appears in front of him, shrouded in blue flames, horrifying the major. Subaru steps forward resolutely, warning his companion, "Stay back, it's not human!" A colossal monster towers before them, blazing with blue flames and an ominous aura. Subaru, adjusting his glasses, notes the concentration of demonic particles and the multitude of souls consumed. The major asks in horror what this monster is, while Subaru maintains an icy calm. Subaru rushes forward, shouting to the monster how many it has killed, while his frightened companion begs him not to leave. A powerful burst of purple energy from Subaru's blade shoots straight at the giant. The terrified major watches in horror as the battle of the titans unfolds. The monster swings his giant fist at the defenseless rich man, who screams. Subaru parries the blow with lightning speed, the purple energy of his blade colliding with the monster's blue power. The hero deftly dodges the monster's sprawling attack, now flaunting his dark glasses. Subaru soars into the air and collapses on the monster's head with a cry of, "Take that!" Subaru unleashes a barrage of purple attacks on the monster, his blade singing the song of battle. The monster responds by trying to grab the hero with its massive paw, the air crackling with tension. Our cop masterfully dodges, the monster kicks past, but Subaru is already preparing a new surprise. The giant's face is contorted with rage, his blazing eyes promising nothing but destruction. The monster rushes forward again, but Subaru easily parries its clumsy lunges. The hero's weapon flashes with fierce energy, concentrating its power for a decisive strike. A blinding stream of purple flame bursts from the blade, engulfing the monster's figure. Subaru lands victoriously, leaving only smoke behind him and the major in a complete stupor. The hero wistfully notes that it's easy to get used to such power, even though it's under strictest prohibition. With his trademark smirk, Subaru informs his companion, "I've sorted everything out, shall we go?" The major is puzzled, but Subaru already senses something wrong. What's wrong? Cold sweat runs down the hero's temple. His sense never fails. Subaru bounces back as if anticipating another attack from nowhere. The rich man is left alone in the middle of the road, and ominous silhouettes grow out of the haze. A horde of glowing blue monsters with burning eyes rush forward. The major's face is distorted with horror. He obviously did not expect such a replenishment in the ranks of the enemy. In panic, the rich man yells, "Help!" trying to escape from the creatures surrounding him. One of the giants brings his fist over the fallen major, preparing to crush him. Subaru whirls across the pavement, getting in the way of the imminent threat. Subaru's blade flashes purple, meeting the monster's powerful blow and saving the grief-stricken passenger. The major is shocked as he thanks Subaru, who stands nonchalantly on guard. A horde of blue giants surrounds the heroes, the rich man wondering in horror what these creatures are. Subaru coldly notes that this mob has clearly not come for him. One of the monsters, a particularly ferocious one, prepares for a crushing attack. A giant spiked stick comes down on the heroes, Subaru covering his companion. Subaru notes with a wry smile that this monster is even uglier than the others. The enraged giant swings his massive weapon again, intending to crush the hero. Subaru concentrates his energy, his purple aura flaring with renewed vigor. A powerful energy blast throws back the monster's attack. Subaru stands unwavering. The hero looks away pensively, perplexed as to what he is doing here. Subaru and the major are surrounded, but suddenly backup on an armored car appears on the horizon. From the roof of the armored car, a pink-haired sniper in stylish glasses has already taken the monsters at gunpoint. The sniper's accurate shots pierce the blue giants, clearing the way. Subaru pins the major to the ground, yelling, "Don't move," as bullets whistle around. The armored monster on wheels bursts through the remnants of the enemy horde. The massive wheel of the armored vehicle mercilessly crushes everything in its path. The heavy machine brakes spectacularly next to the Subaru, kicking up dust. The pink-haired warrior jumps off the armored car, wondering about the situation while Subaru covers his face. Subaru, clearly not thrilled by her appearance, asks Riley, "Ambiance, what are you doing here?" The girl parries that she came to help on Tsukishima's orders since the rest of the team had dropped out. The pink-haired girl explains that the GPS signal was lost, so she arrived in full force. A new fighter emerges from the armored vehicle, telling the girl off, and the girl introduces him to Subaru as Kashima-senpai. Kashima turns to Subaru with a grin, saying he's heard of the famous counselor. Subaru glares at the newcomer, asking Natsuno what kind of arrogant type he is. Kashima snickers, saying that Kashima is more of a doom-monger since these things are beyond the grasp of ordinary humans. Kashima acknowledges Subaru's toughness but condescendingly calls him a regular civilian. The SWAT officer states that Subaru isn't alone in recognizing the demonic power, he's just lucky enough to use it. Kashima warns, the top brass is already aware of Rentoru, and a SWAT team for the likes of Subaru will arrive soon. Kashima orders Subaru to stay out of Tsukishima's rescue, but he replies that he has a personal score to settle. Subaru parries that demons are a natural disaster, not a job for special forces, and advises Kashima to stay out of the way. Natsuno tries to defuse the situation. "Guys, this isn't the time to argue. We're saving Tsukishima, right?" Kashima snorts and defiantly heads towards the armored car, leaving the arguing behind. The major turns to Subaru in confusion. "So what do we do now?" The SWAT officer tosses over Subaru's shoulder. "Since you're an advisor, act accordingly and get the hell out of here." Kashima barks at Natsuno. "Natsuno, get in the car now!" The girl clearly hesitates. Subaru suddenly grabs Natsuno's arm, stating, "I wouldn't go if I were her." Kashima explodes with rage. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Suddenly, a giant blue energy blast crashes down onto the road, nearly hitting the SWAT officer. Natsuno covers his mouth with his hand in horror, shouting out, "Kashima-senpai!" The major shouts in panic, "That monster is still alive, and it's merging with something!" Natsuno wastes no time, gun already in hand, ready to fight. The girl bravely fires at the oncoming blue monster, but the bullets hit her like a pellet. Subaru hums next to Natsuno, "That's why ordinary people don't belong here." An even more colossal blue monster, a true giant, grows in front of the hero. Subaru adjusts his glasses and kneads his fists. If they're all together, it'll be even easier to deal with. The monster responds with a powerful burst of energy, throwing the heroes backwards. Subaru manages to pick up Natsuno, commenting wryly, "A spectacular appearance, but it's all for show." The major is blown away by the shockwave with a shriek. Natsuno yells, "Look out!" as the monster concentrates its attack once more. Subaru steps forward resolutely, his aura flaring, "Leave it to me." Subaru deftly dodges the giant blue paw bearing down on him. The hero provokes the monster with a chuckle. "Good boy, let's do it again." The huge arm tries to crush Subaru again, but he's already on the move. Subaru, enveloped in purple energy, delivers a powerful kick with his foot, calling the creature an obedient dog. The purple energy plume from his kick pierces the monster. "Here's your reward!" Performing a spectacular somersault, Subaru lands, commenting, "Perfect execution." Subaru inquires with a satisfied smirk, "How was it? Wasn't that cool?" The major shouts, "That was incredible!" In utter delight, Natsuno, on the other hand, stands dumbfounded. Subaru adjusts his glasses, noting that even he gets goosebumps from such a concentration of mana, and waits for a reaction. The hero explains that the monster only seems huge because of the energy it absorbed, but in reality it's a small thing. Subaru adds with a smirk, "Nevertheless." But no sooner does he finish his sentence than the giant monster unleashes an attack on the armored vehicle. The creature is clearly furious, its glowing eyes full of malice. The armored vehicle flies into the air and flips over from the monstrous force of the impact. Natsuno screams in horror, "Is there someone in the car?" Subaru grimaces, realizing that Kashima might have stayed inside. The hero asks Natsuno sharply, "Where's Ano? Is he in the car?" But she only shakes her head confusedly. Subaru rushes forward. "I'll distract him, you save Ano." The monster is already bringing its paw up to crush the overturned armored car along with Kashima. Subaru, shrouded in dark energy, shouts to the monster, "Weren't you taught not to touch other people's stuff?" Subaru commands, "Now!" And Natsuno rushes headlong toward the overturned armored car. The girl struggles to pry open the heavy door of the mangled vehicle. Inside, Natsuno finds a frightened Anno who is babbling apologies. Natsuno smiles reassuringly at Anno, holding out his hand. "It's okay. Let's get out of here." Natsuno resolutely pulls Anno out of the dangerous trap. While the girls are being rescued, the monster sends Subaru into an uncontrollable flight with a powerful kick. Spitting up blood, Subaru is surprised to realize the seriousness of the damage he has received. Despite his injury, the hero desperately shouts to the girls, "Run!" The monster shows off its toothy maw, storing up energy for its next attack. The giant creature spews a blinding stream of blue energy directly towards the fleeing girls. Subaru rushes lightning fast to counter the deadly attack, his hand enveloped in purple flames. The monster's beam is about to incinerate the girls, but Subaru manages to create an energy shield. Natsuno screams the hero's name in despair, seeing him take the blow for himself. A blue stream of rage crashes down on Subaru's barrier, which he holds up with a special weapon. Subaru grits his teeth. The shield cracks. The monster's attack is too strong. The hero hesitates, remembering some powerful technique, but its use is fraught. Without waiting for a breakthrough, Subaru counterattacks, putting all his energy into a crushing blow. Subaru concentrates. This is no time for jokes. The lives of his comrades are at stake. Suddenly, the Major appears with a shotgun. "Hey, did you remember me?" The monster turns his attention to the new daredevil, his rage only growing. The Major fires his shotgun at the monster, desperately trying to stop it with cries of, "Die, die, die!" Subaru coolly assesses the situation. "There's one last trump card left. I hope this doesn't take too long." The hero strides forward resolutely, his fist blazing purple as he reasons about fear paralyzing the will. Suddenly, a mysterious hooded figure appears, shrouded in blue flames. The monster exclaims in amazement, "What?" The creature stares at its damaged arm in horror, muttering, "Impossible." The monster points to the glowing silhouette, claiming that it should have disappeared thousands of years ago. A hooded figure with glowing eyes announces gloatingly, "Dante, the divine comedy that sealed our clan for centuries."